Well, hey guys, in today's video, I'm going to talk all about sebaceous filaments, what they are and how to get rid of them. Sebaceous filaments are cylindrical structures that are either white or yellow in coloration that can be expressed from areas of the face where you have a rich density of sebaceous follicles or oil glands. Most notably in the centrofacial region. You can find these guys on your nose, cheeks, forehead, the sides of the nose in particular, they're really prominent. And sebaceous filaments tend to be more of a problem for people who have large pores just by genetics and by their overall facial and skin anatomy, or in people who have what's called seborrhea, or a high rate of sebaceous oil production from their pore. So these little cylindrical tubes are actually composed of about 10 to 30 layers of dead skin, kind of encasing a mixture of bacteria and oil or sebum, as well as just cell fragments of old, dead, destroyed skin cells. Sometimes you can even see these extruding from the pore just by moving your nose from side to side with your finger. Sometimes you can see these little white cylindrical tubes. And once they come out onto the surface of the skin, the pore will refill again within 30 days. So it's not as though you're permanently removing them. That stuff will reaccumulate, particularly if you are prone to sebaceous filaments because of being oily or having large pores. If you go looking very carefully, you can find these on most people in areas of the face where you have a lot of sebaceous glands, like the nose. I mean, particularly right here at what's called the nasal alar groove, you can see them pretty easily. These are not the same as blackheads or whiteheads. And what I mean by that is blackheads and whiteheads are two types of skin lesions called comedones. A blackhead is an open comedone and a whitehead is a closed comedone. I'll have a video on closed comedones and blackheads or open comedones, so check those out. But comedones are actual plugs in the pore. And the reason they're different from sebaceous filaments is that comedones are actually a precursor skin lesion to, or a component of, acne pathogenesis. Acne starts out as a microcomedone under the skin, and then that plug becomes more prominent. And then as that plug becomes more prominent, you then get a pimple or a papule. It becomes inflamed. However, sebaceous filaments are just the extrusion of stuff out of the skin related to kind of seborrhea and natural skin turnover. Sebaceous filaments will not give rise to lesions of acne. Now, that being said, people with acne tend to have oilier skin and therefore tend to also be people who are more plagued with sebaceous filaments. But that is because they have larger pores and a greater rate of sebum production, or seborrhea. Those are two factors in acne pathogenesis, and then those are the two factors that put you at risk or make you more likely to have sebaceous filaments. But how do you get rid of sebaceous filaments? My number one tip would be to regularly use a 2% salicylic acid face wash. And the reason for this is that salicylic acid is an acne ingredient, actually, that works by getting into the pore and helping to break up oily stuff, built up stuff. It will help to prevent the formation of sebaceous filaments and also remove those existing ones that you have there waiting to be extruded. So they can definitely improve both the appearance of sebaceous filaments as well as reduce the formation of them. And I recommend using salicylic acid in a face wash form rather than a leave-on form like a toner or a spot treatment, solely because leave-on salicylic acid can be very drying and irritating. And one of the things you don't want to do is dry out the skin of your nose. That can actually really make sebaceous filaments look a lot worse, because part of what is in that cylinder is kind of some dry, built-up exfoliating stuff. And if you go drying out your skin, you're only going to contribute to the contents of the cylinder. So I recommend using a BHA face wash. My favorite one is one by Zapzit. I'll list it down below for you guys. But another great one is the La Roche-Posay Effaclar Medicated Gel Cleanser. And the way to use these is to just lather them to the area. Say you have a lot of sebaceous filaments on your nose, lather them up there and let the lather sit on your skin for a little while, like 2 or 3 minutes, and then rinse it off. As soon as you rinse it off, the next step is imperative, and that is to put a moisturizer on top. I'll list some down below in the description box, but I recommend selecting an oil-free moisturizer aimed for people with acne-prone skin because it will help keep the surrounding skin hydrated and help decrease in the formation of these little cylinders of built-up skin cells and oil and what have you. Like I said, salicylic acid is a great ingredient for approaching this. I prefer it personally in a wash form. I think it's a better choice because it's not as drying. A lot of leave-on salicylic acid products can be very drying. However, you may find that you prefer using one. And one that is popular and that I've used and is not very drying at all, although it can be, is Paula's Choice 2% BHA liquid exfoliant. The reason I like this is it's fragrance-free and it doesn't have any alcohols in it that can be more on the drying side. So this is a really nice one. You can just put it on the affected area. You don't need a lot. You can put it on with a cotton swab, for example, and leave it on your nose overnight, and then just wash it off in the morning and put your moisturizer on or put your moisturizing sunscreen on. So that would be my tip for using a leave-on salicylic acid product. But again, I think using a face wash is a little bit easier to do, and you also get that mechanical exfoliation that kind of sloughs off the cylinders just from lathering the area. So you have that. All right, but mechanical exfoliation, that being said, I recommend not using any kind of spin brushes or exfoliating pads. I know they're popular and a lot of people will find that they help the appearance of these, but you really run into the risk of damaging the surrounding skin barrier and drying out your skin further. And in doing so, that can actually worsen the sebaceous filament issue. And if you have background skin that has acne on it as well, that can really worsen your acne. So that's not my recommendation to go using a spin brush or a sonic cleansing brush or any kind of exfoliating pad or a mechanical exfoliant. It can be very drying and irritating and actually exacerbate the appearance of sebaceous filaments. The last product that is great for reducing the formation of and improving the appearance of sebaceous filaments is going to be a retinoid. You can buy Differin over the counter, that works great for this, or your dermatologist may have you on prescription tretinoin or prescription tazarotene, both of which likewise can help this. But another option always, again, is to use a retinol, which is less potent, less bioavailable than Differin or tazarotene or tretinoin, but is still an option, will help in kind of breaking up that little cylinder, reducing the formation of it. So that's another option as well. So yeah, take home point. These are not part of acne, but they can be more common in people with acne. They're more common in people with large pores and who make a lot of oil. They're largely a cosmetic concern, meaning they're not going to harm you or, age your skin or anything like that. But, they affect the way you feel about yourself. So definitely something to not take lightly. And, they can kind of affect how, if you wear makeup, then kind of, make your makeup go on a little less evenly. So using a salicylic acid product and using a product like Differin are ways to improve the appearance of sebaceous filaments. So check the description box below. I will list all of these down below for you guys that I recommend. But I hope this video was helpful. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up, share it with your friends, and as always, don't forget, sunscreen and subscribe. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. Bye.